Hey folks, welcome back to Maypole Farm. Sounds so good to be saying that. So got most stuff back to the farm. The disc harrow is still up at the store because we need a bigger tractor for that. We'll get to the results of the poll in a moment. So I have been doing more work on getting the map ready. So if I bring up the animal food overview, I fixed the typo I had in the feeding. I had a typo in the root crop stuff. It was set to be 20%. Still in the numbers didn't add up to 100%, so that's sorted. I have sorted the mixture for the TMR now, so it allows for a lot of flexibility in the feeding. So it's hay and silage because we only have one type of hay and one type of silage in the game, and then you know, it can have straw, mineral feed, wheat, barley, oats or sorghum as a grain group, soybeans, canola, sunflower or peas as a protein group, and then all of the root crops as a root crop group. None of them are mandated, but you know, it gives me options and it works, which is the cool thing. I've also edited the feeding for the brown Swiss and the Holsteins so far to be the same as the Maize Plus Animal Food Additions was in FS 22. So I'm probably going to get Holsteins. They're going to eat a heck of a lot, but they're going to produce a lot. So we probably won't need very many. Something I forgot to do was place a manure pit. So plan is to put it here. I've got this little guy, which fits quite nicely here. It just needs a little bit of landscaping. So if we come here, it's been a while since I've done landscaping, but hopefully that's enough. One of the dogs sat next to me, so you might get the occasional bit of dog sound effects. But yeah, I think that is gonna do the job pretty nicely. It holds 120,000 litres, which means we probably need to empty it a fair bit. Anyway, yeah, with, I think, let me just double check on my phone. With 41% of the votes, the Fent won. So we're going to need to get an Uber up to the shop. Realism is key, and we can't just tab. Well, we can, because, yeah, life's too short. I still need to sort all the number plates out. Apologies to patrons and YouTube channel members. It's been a busy couple of days. So I think we're going to go for the 50k box. We need at least 190 horsepower, 180 horsepower. So we're going to go for 190. I quite like those chonky tires. Apparently this thing sounds great. I don't have my headphones on me, so we'll find out when I do the editing. We're not going to do reverse driving because I can't afford it at the moment. We probably should have a beacon light because rules. Fenders, I don't mind the normal short ones. Light configuration, they cost the same, so we'll have LED lights. We won't have reflectors. We do want a front PTO. We don't want the Azaria stuff. Colors. Petrol the same. Oh no, petrol costs more. Fent green it is. And as I say, I'll sort the number plates out for everything when my brain's not quite so busy. So we'll buy that at £78,000. Awesome. And the job for today is to find out what that sounds like in editing. We're going to combine the field. So I'm going to lease a trailer because we're not going to need it all that often. Trailers. Honestly, I know it's, you know, FS22 base game, but that'll probably do us. It's only going to cost 800 quid. So I think we're going to lease that. Come on, old girl. You've got a long life ahead of you on the farm. So, yeah, that got a tone. It has, just in case. And we need to lease a combine. So, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. So I'm kind of tempted by the TX32, to be honest. But it's only got a 4-meter header. What about the 62? It's got a 5-meter header. What about the Dominator? 5-meter header. Dominator looks nicer. 7,500 litre grain tank. 55 horsepower. 200. I think we're going to go for the Dominator. So let's $4,000 to lease it. There's no point us buying it. So let's just bite the bullet and lease it. Yes. You. Yes. Right. Because we need to get this wheat field harvested this month. So let's just do it. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, as John Malecki would say. Apparently some kind of football player. Also a YouTuber. That's where I know him from. I'm just going to pull this forwards and then put the header on, because it looks to me like it goes on from this side. We'll have to come back for the disc arrow. I'm so looking forward to getting stuck into this series. Yep, that was right. Part of me did not want to wait for the results of the poll. Part of me just wanted to crack on. But I could not decide on the tractor. So the comments on the poll really reflected where my brain was, because there was a lot of, well, you should get the, what, you know, like the Fendt or whatever because it's sensible or whatever, but the class would be really cool because you could see if it could do, and it was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Can we get follow me to, I haven't used follow me much in this version of the game, so I'm wondering if we can get follow me to follow us back to the farm. Traffic, let's go. As traffic comes, this is going to end badly. We might have to turn traffic off. Seems to be doing okay. Let's just go, and I can always rescue it later. Let's go with that as an option. Yeah, I've not really used follow me in FS25, so don't look back and hope they're still following. They seem to be. Obviously, I'm in the slower vehicle, so they should keep up. That was my theory. That was the theory. Kind of unfortunate. In fact, very unfortunate. The text on the back of the class reminded me of the class I, plural of classes, that we had on here previously, which were by the one and only Mr. Mark Thor, who's currently without a computer, so can't do modding, which means we're not going to get the Ford variants that we had in 22. I assume they eventually got released. I got them from Mark direct early, so oh, you got stuck. I know I'm stuck. Well, yeah. Oh. Stupid traffic. This is why I turn traffic off. In fact, let's do that for now so we can get back to the farm. Traffic off. Yeah, and that's completely derailed my train of thought. Ah, Ford. Hey, Ford's in the game. Isn't it wonderful? Just don't ask Giants if they know which Fords are actually in the game. Because, yeah, they don't have a freaking clue. Anyway, I'm not going to trigger myself. It's been a long day at work. Let's just relax and enjoy the lovely map. So, been exploring the realistic livestock mod as I got to grips with editing the stuff that I needed to edit for what I wanted to add in, obviously. And I found that, you may already know, depends how much you've played with it, it has pre-coded in it for certain maps that it knows what country they're in. And so I changed it because it didn't know Maypole. Probably coded, either it was coded before Maypole, or, you know, the poor guy's not going to write in an exhaustive list anyway. So I took one of the maps that's in the United Kingdom and replaced it. Now I know we're in Ireland, and it's a fictional map, so which part of Ireland in, who knows. We have GB number plates, so we're probably in that part of Ireland, but I've coded it as if we're in the UK, so we should, I assume, get ear tags which correspond to the fact that the animals that are born on our farm are born in the UK. I assume that's what that's for. Not sure, because this is my first experiment with realistic livestock mod. I had an idea that I would try and, in the background, play with it more, but haven't had a chance. There's a couple of reasons for that. There's always two reasons for things, isn't there? Welcome to my YouTube channel. So the first one is things and stuff, we'll say. The second one is the game called Automation, which is a game where you run a car building business, which is really good fun. I will caveat it with the fact that I'm really bad at the building cars part. In the so there's a couple of parts to this game. Again, two parts to things. So I first became aware of this game from the YouTube channel that I've mentioned several times, Grok TV. I'm actually going to disable you, dismiss you. I'm wondering if the pickup can grab the header trailer. I guess we've got the little doits. The little doits might actually fit past there. And we should make as much use of the little doits as we can, because this is an awesome little tractor. Yeah, I first became aware of automation from Grok TV because he uses it to make lots of his videos, but he does funny, silly stuff with it. And I then found another German YouTube channel, and the nationality of the creator that I've just mentioned will let you understand that it's maybe a little bit more serious. Not stereotyping at all, but it is. It's, you know, it does. He plays the game properly, let's say, and that's where I learned that this game has a career mode, where you are trying to run a car manufacturing business, and so that's where there are two parts to the game. There's the part where you are making cars, which and I'm going to break that down into two parts. I'm good at this, aren't I? I'm good at this two parts thing. There's making cars that look nice, because there's like a 3D not quite a 3D modeling aspect to it, but you can, you know, there are 3D models of vehicles in the game, and you can build up stuff on them and add things to the 3D models and stuff. I suck at that massively. The first time I played it, I think I spent an hour trying to put the interior into a car. Not even the whole interior, just trying to put the floor tray into a car. Yeah, I suck at it massively. Space up there, potentially. So that's one aspect of building the cars. The other one is then the technical aspect of, you know, like designing the engine and tuning the car, you know, the suspension, the design of the car. That I'm okay at, and I find quite good fun. That'll shock you, I know. And then the other two parts to the game, let's back to the farming for a sec. We need to do precision farming stuff. We need to buy the soil samples and hope that the field is in halfway decent state, because it's harvest ready, so we can't really do much about it. Anyway, let's just wait for them to turn up. Oh, wait. So yeah, the other half is running the business. So you design your cars and then you sell them, and you know, marketing and research and all that kind of stuff. That's basically playing spreadsheets. I know, playing spreadsheets game. It's freaking awesome, and it's just eaten so much of my time since I bought it. It was probably a really bad idea to buy it, but it's really good fun. So yeah, that's the other reason that I haven't played the game as much. But so the cars that you make, you can export them and then use them in BeamNG. And so the guys who make YouTube videos of this, they make really nice looking cars. They export them to BeamNG. They drive them a bit, and then they run the business and that kind of thing. I just really enjoy playing spreadsheets. So yeah. Anyway, why am I not getting soil information? I know why. Field info. If I turn the field info on when I stand in the field. Oh, this is not going to be good. This is going to be a very bad yielding field. 85%. So, oh well, 'tis what it is. You know, is what it is. Let's just get it done. Let's just get her done. yes, we want the straw swath. Let's go. At this point, we're just going to have to accept that first harvest with precision farming is going to be a bit crap. Before we harvest the other two fields, hopefully we can at least fix the nitrogen. And one of them is soybean, so we don't need to do that. But with the cornfield, hopefully we can fix the nitrogen, get that somewhat better, because we could do with a good silage yield at least. Yeah. Also, yeah, last time I was talking about the bale contracts by Matrix, and interesting, that released on ModHub since, so haven't added it yet, but going to, because that combined with better contracts, which allows you to 100% contracts. Where's me straw swath? That's a bit annoying. I'm just too busy gas bagging away. Yeah, that combined with better contracts will hopefully allow us to get some hay and silage bales off of contracts. Which, as soon as we can get that, we can start getting cows. Because until we've got feed, we can't get cows. So, yeah. And the sooner we get them, the sooner we can start them growing so that we can get milk. Because where I have edited the cows to be like they were with the Maize Plus Animal Food Additions, we aren't going to start getting milk until they've had their first calf. Which with realistic livestock is not quite as bad. It's 24 months or 22 months. But even so, it is kind of brutal. So, yeah. We are going to be in for a bit of a wait there, unless, because of the whole way that it works with buying animals with realistic livestock, if I buy animals that are older and of an age where they would be coming in calf, I will assume that they are in calf when we buy them. So, if we buy a cow that's 20 months old, I will assume that's a bad example. No, that's, because I think they have calves at 22 months with realistic livestock. I will assume that it's 8 months pregnant. Because otherwise it's going to really hurt our progress. I just had to stop for a dog drink and get through my routine for doing the corner. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of my thinking with buying animals. If when we buy them, with what the randomness throws up, they are of an age where they should be in calf, if the game doesn't automatically deliver them as in calf animals, I will be doing some XML shenanigans to ensure that they are. Because we need progress. I don't know if the game's smart enough, and I've not played with realistic livestock. I don't know how that handles that kind of thing. I know it requires you to have a bull. So yeah, we'll see how it all works. But I am looking forward to this. As you can probably tell by the fact that there's a second farm sim video within days, not weeks. So yeah, this is by far one of my favourite maps in the game. I don't know why, but this really clicked with me in the previous iteration of the game, and as I said last time, I'd completely fallen out of favour with the game. It seemed to resonate with a bunch of you as well when I spoke about that. So I recorded bits of that first video a couple of times, and there was a line that I used in the version that didn't get used. It's kind of cheesy, but I think it'll resonate with some of you who are of a similar age, who watched similar things when you were younger. When kind of felt like when Shawn Michaels lost his smile, you know, and kind of, and I know that was a storyline because it's, you know, but I'd really, and I'm still very jaded with Giants, I've got to be honest. I feel like at the moment they're very much milking a few headline things to sell copies of the game and exploit people. And I feel they're being very dishonest with players. God. Sorry, I had a bit of a cough there. I feel like they're flat out lying, to be honest, about some things at the moment. That or they are a far more disorganised company than I give them credit for. And opening themselves up to legal action and legal damages. But I think it's more likely that they're just flat out lying to players and the community. But anyway, that's a completely, but yeah, I'm very excited about playing the game again, which is really nice. There's a bit of me that could maybe believe they're just really freaking disorganized, because I've received, pretty sure I've already got it. I think I've received my second bronze partner wall plaque, pretty sure, in the post yesterday. Pretty sure I've already got one of those. So I think that's the second duplicate I've got. So yeah, they're either a company that's massively disorganized or dishonest. I don't know which one I believe. But either way, the thing that I'm excited about is having a save game that I'm genuinely looking forward to playing. I mean, it's not particularly late in the day, but it's at a point in the day where normally I would not be sitting recording a video. I would be into chill out mode. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. It's 16 hours later. I've done a day at work. I've been for a run for nearly 2 hours. Yeah. And none of that is to make excuses, just to kind of highlight that I'm actually genuinely excited to be playing the game again. And I haven't been for a really long time. It's why I've made very few, it's like a mod like Realistic Livestock mod coming out. Previous versions of the game, I would have been all over that. I would have been all over that in terms of what does it change, what does it change in the game, what does it but I've just really not been enthused. And it's not that I'm not excited by that mod, because I am. It's that I'm not excited to play the game. And yeah, because I saw Scross video on it quite early on, FSG's video on it quite early on. I was looking at the mod at that point and it looked really cool. It was still a bit flaky, I think, at that point. And yeah, a few weeks ago I downloaded it and I started setting up a save to do. I was going to do a year in farming with realistic livestock to see what it was like. But I just wasn't motivated to play Farming Simulator. It's why there were less videos, because it was just like it was an effort to play the game, to make content even. And with this save it's not, because I've put in time testing stuff and setting stuff up because I've been excited. And that is so good. Come on, I'll go. Yeah. I think... No, that was the wrong key. No, that's the wrong key. I've got the mod installed that I expected. Bear with me 1 second, folks. Because we need and thumbnail. There we go. You will have all been able to see the results of the poll anyway, so yeah. Not like I'm giving anything away. But this is good stuff. And even with the poor condition of the field, we're still getting a half decent yield. Feel like I should maybe bung on GPS at this point. Yeah, I can always tidy up the miss bit. You can always tidy up that little miss bit if it doesn't actually get picked up anyway. So, anyway, and that's one of the differences compared to the Farming the Decades series, in that I am not doing the technology limitation thing, or the age limitation thing. I probably will end up using a lot of old kit just because it reflects how I like to play. And generally, although not always with FS, older stuff is cheaper. And we are going to be cash poor for a while. Even with the large amount of, I think we should probably do a bit of a cut in to open the field up a little bit. Even with the large amount that the cows are going to be producing, because they're going to be eating a lot and the farm is quite small, we're not going to be able to have very many cows. And I think probably I will initially be looking at maybe 10 to 20 cows. I think that's a good number to get us going. I think maybe 10 initially. So 9 heifers and a bull. I'm a little bit tempted depending on how things work out, to essentially simulate leasing the bull. So buy a bull once the cows are pregnant, saddle bull. I don't think, but I haven't looked, that you can do AI like you can with some of the other mods that affect animal behaviour. Because on a small farm, keeping a bull is obviously a big expense, but yeah. What I am going to do is, I think, yeah, as we turn around, is save the game, because I've been playing for a little while. But yeah, so nice to be back on this map. Got another dog drink incoming. Yep. Human could do with hydration as well. It's ever so warm. It's supposed to get super hot here at the weekend as well. I'm not looking forward to that. It's reached the time of the year where we whinge about how hot it is. So currently, every day in the home office, which always makes me chuckle because it makes me think of the home office rather than the office at home. You know, the little things. It's even by like 8 o'clock in the morning, it's maybe 9. Certainly by 9, it's like 27 degrees in there. It's ridiculous. I'm pondering. I'm not sure. I think then you can get them USB powered, but I'm pondering sticking some PC case fans in the window to suck hot air out, because that's what they're designed for. Because yeah, it just gets unbearable in there. It's ridiculous. And usually by like lunchtime, I just feel awful because sat in hot air all day. And what I do at the moment is have the door open to the room if I can. Depends what I'm doing work-wise, and then have a fan outside the room trying to blow cooler air in, and then a small fan on next to the open window, because it's usually cooler outside than in, trying to kind of blow the hot air in the room out. So but yeah, some PC case fans might move more air because that's what they do. It's something that occurred to me today, because you know, the opening size of the open window would kind of work, but how you power them? Well, I've got spare PC power supplies, how I could power them, but yeah, that might be a bit janky. But I kind of have something similar on the radiator in the room, because the radiators, quite a lot of the radiator in the room is covered up, and so I have some small fans sat on the back of it, because it has a corrugated surface on the back to help with heat convection. It has some small fans sat on that to help move more air over that. That makes a massive difference. And Noctua do a kit to put on your home radiators to mount some of their fans on them for that specific purpose, to increase the convection from them. I know we call them radiators because they are more about convection heat. But anyway, yeah, so I was inspired by that, and I brought some smaller ones that fit in the gap between the wall and this. It's not really corrugated, it's a corrugated metal plate that increases the surface area. I thought if I increase the airflow over that high surface area it would increase the heat exchange, which it does. Because that room's weird. In the winter it's cold, and in the summer it's baking hot. So it's not fun. Anyway, so this wheat that we are harvesting, for now, I will plan to keep to feed, or to potentially feed to the cows. I mean, it's only 14,000 litres. The alternative is, because we have the grain drying mod installed, that we dry it and buy stuff instead. Because dry wheat is quite profitable. We would need to put a sell point in, or edit one of the sell points to take the dry wheat. But from what I remember, dry wheat is quite profitable. So, but as we can feed it, and with Dal trying to recapture the Maize Plus experience, we would be making grain grist in that. We should maybe keep it to feed to the cows, is my thought. And what I would have been doing with Maize Plus is I would have been selling our premium grain, probably dried, and then buying in cheap grain. But we can't do that because we don't have like the farm supply pack yet. I don't think so. Well, I guess we could put in a buy anything point because that sells stuff cheap normally, and do it that way. But I think we'll just keep this. And we're going to hang on to the combine because we have the soybean field. I have got my eyes on a forage harvester. So there was the Rotzelmash one that was released on Mod Hub in the last day or so, I think. Which is not super cheap, but not super expensive. I think it's like, oh, we're full. So I was just checking. I was going to check Mod Hub. I think it's like a couple $100,000. Which I think is tolerable. So I think that's tolerable price-wise for leasing. Because we should get a decent amount of silage off that field. We've silaged that field quite a few times, so. Should get a good amount off of there. I mean, I'm somewhat wondering if... I don't think I've done maize silage in this version of the game yet. Got a little way to go yet. Actually, while we're here, while we wait for the combine to empty, I must have done it on the Frontier multiplayer thingy, actually. Purchase. Do we have to wait, or does it come in instantly? Oh, I purchased the wrong one. Purchase. I am a dummy. So pH is okay, but it does need nitrogen, so that's fixable, which is really good. And then that one's good as well. So it was just the wheat field that was bad. Such is the way of things, and we have enough capacity now to finish harvesting, even with that being full, and I can go back to trying to look at Mod Hub. So well, there's another little old combine come out today, and some old tractors, and I forgot to switch GPS on, and I wasn't watching where I was going because I was mobiling and driving. which you should not do, folks. Where is it? Where is it? It wasn't that far back. Got the employment mod from Arrow, which we have yet to talk about. It does look very cool. Might actually be useful on here because we are going to have quiet times. Yeah, £221,000 plus 54 for the header. So I don't think that's going to be too bad to lease. Don't think that's going to be too bad. For the amount of silage we'll get, I think that'll be okay. I know we're going to lose a bit of straw doing this random harvesting, but it's fine. I don't know how wide the pickup is on the baler. Bring over the header trailer. And we'll find out, because I think we might make a start on the baling. What time is? Yeah, I've got time still. I've got 2 videos I need to edit and try and render this evening still. That's my problem, not yours. And ideally start uploading one. No, no, that's my problem, not yours. So we'll drive this down. We can unload the rest of this when we get to the bottom of the field, or to the yard even. Stuff. Out of the field, because the hedges have collisions. Can remove the hedges, I believe, with a chainsaw. Yeah, we should get a nice amount of silage off of there. So if we could get some hay baling contracts where we can get some excess hay bales, assuming that's a thing with the MAYPOLE contract, that would be great. Out so that we can unload it. That needs to go back down to the farm as well. I do love this little Deutsch tractor. It's a little beast as well. Don't ask me how we got everything back to the farm, okay? Such a cool little tractor. So good. So glad it was in the sales. Best tractor in FS25. Calling it. I'm calling it. Let's leave that there for now. And then run this down as well. And we could bale with the little Deutz. We got 14 odd thousand, not the 21,000 that it was saying we were going to get, obviously, because, you know, the game lies. But anyway, yeah, 14,814 litres, because I can do maths. I forgot I had Simple Inspector installed, which would tell me. Let's see how this goes. Yes, it looks kind of ridiculous, but if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. Them's the rules. So, taking the front loader off because it was getting in the way. So, and we don't want to spoil the fine view. Technically, this has enough horsepower, so and being technically correct is the best kind of correct. So let's give it a go, shall we? I'm trying to remember if I have the round baler script mod thingy installed, because if I do, that will make my life infinitely easier. I'm very confused as to what just happened then. Okay. Well, in the interest of my sanity, I have no idea what happened then. Vehicle outside of world detected. Okay. Okay. Something's not happy. Actually, let's put that there. Let's try with the fence, shall we? Otherwise, we might call it a day at this point. I'm far too tired to be dealing with errors. That is one that I've never seen before. I'm going to actually move the baler. But folks, realism is key. And in the real world, you can teleport. So, yeah. Interesting. So when I want this baler might be buggy. I think it might be the baler. So as I was editing stuff earlier today, and I was watching the log file, there were some warnings associated with this baler as it loaded. Which is interesting because it's a baler off of Mod Hub, and you would think that Giants would test it and make sure that there weren't, warnings when you loaded it in the game. Because I've had mods rejected for things like that. But anyway, but it seems to be working now. So yeah, because I was actually going to remove the mod when I saw those warnings, not realising it was the baler that I'd brought. So I don't have the baler helper script installed, it would appear. So that's the thing. Oh, this is going to take a very long time. Baler is not actually covering the whole swath, and nothing but the swath. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I am going to call it a day there. So I will endeavour, although no promises, to get the baling done between videos so that we can progress. Because that way you get the joy of me stacking the bales, which is always great fun because it looks like we're going to have a bit of a nightmare with getting this baled. So yeah, I think we might actually look at replacing this baler already because it's kind of annoying me. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button. As always, comments, questions and suggestions are welcome, and I will see you next time.